Hey guys, today I want to do another playbook. I've been playing Miracle Priest lately. I'm gonna go on and say it's got a terrible win rate. It's incredibly difficult, terrible deck to climb. But if you're still here and you want to learn to play Miracle Priest, I'm not even the best person to learn it from. But what I can show you are the tactics. I think a lot of people they talk about the big picture, and this is a technical deck. It's about getting the right ordering right. It's about getting uh, the right discounts, doing the right order, getting everything right really technically, and being able to execute it flawlessly. So I want to go over not only some plays that I've done, but also I will go into a lot of the mistakes that I'm making, and that in the moment I was too kind of slow to see, but afterwards I was able to figure out. Here we're going into turn into our turn five, and we've drew palm reading last turn, but we didn't use it. I think we actually, did we draw it from Thrive? No, I think no, we didn't. So we're gonna go palm reading this turn, and we're going to set up for a play next turn. You see, I already have an insight here, so there's no reason to take a second insight. And Void Shard, while being a higher value target, we want to get the lowest cost stuff possible. And then we're going to hero power here. You might ask, why don't we use an insight? Why don't we use a thrive? Is because those cards will be costing 1 mana, so they will net us mana. So we don't want to be playing spells in these spots that cost mana, that cost like more mana, because we actually will get more discounts by saving it. So when I'm set up, I'm basically here. I don't consider it worth the safety of going Desperate Prayers here. It's like, so they need 9 damage to have lethal, and it's very possible for them to have it. They could have 3 spells, lightning bolt, serpentine portal, but I think it's worth risking, because we need to be able to full pop off, and we don't have like a Gift of the Luminance. We have a Psyche split that costs a little bit more mana, so, and our guys cost full cost. So they do their play, and we'll go over my play here, and we'll even talk about mistakes and a little improvements I could be making, even with decision making. So they're setting up their play, they're hitting me in the face, and I'm already ready to go. And here we go. Let's see. And right. I'm going to slow it down. We're going to go at half speed. So I play Nizamis here. Also, we got a really bad top deck here. This is very, other than like Alec, like anything that's expensive here is really bad. I play both of this. This gets the double discount. Then I start playing my 0 mana spells. So I play the Desperate Prayer. I play the other Desperate Prayer. Or it looks like I play the Shower Devour. I don't think the order is particularly important here on these two. And then I play another Desperate Prayer. Now I want to get this Psyche split discounted, so I'm not playing the draw card cards. Now I actually think I made a mistake there. I think I should have played Horn here, and then I would be able to go Thrive, and get the Psyche split discounted. But and this was a tough choice, because Powered Fortitude will actually eat up all your discounts. That's a terrible choice. But you might be thinking, why? I end up choosing Bless. But why the heck would I not choose Draconic Studies here? And my logic was, the issue with picking Draconic Studies here is that if you get big dragons, the problem is they eat your discounts. So, but I still think it might have been right, but it's close. And that's why I didn't pick it. I ended up going with Bless, but it's a thing of I want to hit the Malagos. But yeah, so I picked the Bless here after thinking. And then this, but yeah. I pick the Bless, and I get 2 discounts on the Psyche split. And then I want to go this first, because if I go Horn, and I think maybe I actually was supposed to go Horn there into Psyche split, but I actually don't, let me think. So I go that, and then I would get the Psyche split, let's say, then I would play it, and then this would be 0. I'd play that, this would go down to 7. but then it would go down to 4, and then I go bless and it go down to 1, and I never get to play it. So I have to do this order here. So I get Malagos, and I happen to get lucky, and the Psyche Split goes down to 0. If the Psyche Split did not go down to 0, I don't think I'm able to pull this off because this horn is bad. But then now with this, Malagos goes down to 5, and then I have exact, or goes down to 6, and then I have an exact with 3 Nazamis to put it down to 0. Now, I play the Malagos. And something to know, when you get these plays, it's a great time to play like a Draconic Studies if you can. Now, but the problem is I have 0 mana, but it's actually you want to play. So I ripped the Desperate Prayers here immediately. And then after that, I kind of wish I had gone Renew first. So here's why did we go the Discover right away and animation times? So I'm kind of just playing things, but the problem is you get animation timed on this, where if you go Renew, it will early on, or Draconic, it will immediately give you the option. So I make a mistake here, an animation times mistake. I should have gone Renew here, and then I could have picked an option and then just jammed a bunch of things. That would have been, I think, the preferred option, or even Draconic Studies right after this. But you can see I just keep doing these non-things, and I wish I had gone Draconic, because then you can jam all the cards at the last minute. But you can see I kind of wait to get the Draconic Studies last minute, and it doesn't quite work. But that being said, I still do a solid play here, and remove a bunch of their board, heal, develop. This is still incredibly difficult for the Shaman to deal with, I do freeze here, so it's a little bit harder. But this was not perfectly executed by any means. So at the end, so I think you could see here, if I had picked gone the Draconic earlier, I could have had more time to choose, but I had to wait so much time after I click it. So ideally, after you go Malagos, you'd like to go quickly into a discoverable, and then you would like to this. So that's the basic play. Now we didn't get everything right, but you can see here we have 4 Nazamis, we have Malagos, and their deck is because you're gonna have a hard time full dealing with this board. So okay, this is next turn in the game. And when this is a very common situation, your opponent starts doing these Snowfall Guardian plays, and they just keep freezing your board over and over and over again. And what do? You get Elec Mount, and you Psyche Split it. I think not running Elec Mount feels like a mistake, unless you're not facing any Shamans, because it's really necessary to beat the Shamans, because they will just keep freezing your board. So what you do, and I happen to get lucky, I discover it. Now, it is about 40% to draw it, but I get the Elec Mount here. And then I think I do a Renew to get some discounts, but it's not that important. I'm considering taking Against All Odds, but I have too many things. And then ultimately I go this Elec Mount. Let's say I do some more heals, it looks like. And let's go faster. This is not that complicated of a turn, but you see I just have a lot of options. A lot of these plays aren't that important, but the big important play, I do go Draconic last, and I hit also Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan's a great card to hit because it can kind of just give you that inevitability. So even if your opponent pulls off some scam, so what would be a scam they could pull off? They could go Primordial Studies into the 5-drop, discover a spell, and then get a Revolve. That might be a way they could scam you out of the game. Stuff like that. So even if your opponent poses a scam, you get Kazakhstan down. So often, if you're really ahead, it's good to look for the Kazakhstan, kind of to give you that insurance that even if somehow I get scammed, this is especially a good play against Warrior, to look for the Kazakhstan. Sorry, look for the Kazakhstan in the when you're kind of already have a board like this. But ultimately, the most important thing about this turn was I do this. And I also mess another animation time thing. I make the mess up where I'm supposed to go Psyche Split first, and I don't. And this is a very bad mistake. So now I have to make my decisions very quickly. And you can see I'm just trying to go as fast as I can. Very tough. And then I get the pull out the Psyche Split, and now that's a game. Now you can see here, what I should have done is gone Psyche Split first and then gone Kazakhstan last. That way, if I run out of time, you can see animation times are very important to this deck, and you should be considering them as a part of your strategy to play with the animation times. So next, we got a game where I have a pretty ideal hand. This is against a Druid. and I have Palm Reading and Insight, which are probably the best two cards for you to have in your mulligan. And on coin, which is a huge deal. So, and you can see what I do for the first 3 turns is I don't do anything. And I think a lot of people, if they're playing the second first time, think, oh, 3 mana, I'm going to go Palm Reading. Wrong. And also, I don't even discover anything here because I don't really need anything. And by getting this down to 1 mana, I can get more discounts on it later. So, for example, let's say I go Palm Reading. This is 1 mana, and I have 2 Nizamis on board. So what is that going to do? It's going to make it so this will cost 1 mana for the first one, and I'll get 2 discounts. So I net 1 mana. And let's say I hit something like Gift of Renew, a good Nuru. So then I would gain another, some more mana. And that would be, so by saving the Thrive and not drawing here, I actually net more mana when I finally go Nizami, and potentially. And I have more flexibility because, like I said, I already have everything I need. But here I don't go Palm Reading yet because I'm looking to pop off on turn 5. So why am I looking to pop off on turn 5 specifically with this hand? Because I have Psyche Split. Now, if I had Gifted the Luminance in hand, I actually could rip it on turn 3, go Insight the next turn, play a 1 mana this, then 1 play mana Gift of the Luminance and pop off. And against Druid, that would be actually an excellent class to do that play. But because I have the Psyche Split, what I do is I get the 1 mana Nizami here, and then I have a 1 mana Nizami and a 4 mana Psyche Split to start off my play. So you can see here, and I Palm Reading, I take the cheap spell, and Rally is absolutely bait here. We're not looking to revive our guys. There's a reason we don't run that card. And now we have Nizami. Now we have everything ready to go. So we're ready to just really pop off. And they get their overgrowth, but we're 1 turn faster. And this is so, we'll slow this down. So you can see I go Nizami here. Then I go Psyche Split. I want to do these first to maximize the amount of discounts. I start playing 0 mana spells. I actually try and save the coin in these spots when I have the luxury to. Often you won't have the luxury to, but it gives me more flexibility. And I think I'm able to like pull off everything. But we do this, and then we go Horn once it hits 0, and I believe I happen to hit Malagos, which is absolutely excellent. And it's actually good that in these kind of spots, once you have Malagos, you actually like that your gift is not drawing you cards. And it's also nice is about doing the Horn here now. Our Shadow Word Devourer gets us more health. So you can see this gets this more buffed. And I choose to do this, even I could get more cards, because I'd rather, one, you want to have a 0 mana card for after you play Malagos. But 2, I don't need every single card. And I'd rather have the Bless ready for later. So I get the Powered Fortitude. I play that first, but I think I should actually be going for the Thrive. Like I said, going for the Discovers when you're doing the Malagos animation is excellent. But it is slightly better to go get these the 0 mana cards. But like I said, getting the animation. So I do get the animation next. I don't go for there. And then I think I just take the 0 mana stuff, going as quickly as possible. And then I think I say that's enough stats on that. This is enough to win. And I still have lots of time here, which is kind of interesting. And I get the Palm Reading, I think, next. So you can see it's already showing that the discounts there, even though the animation times. I take Call of the Grave because it's just a 1 mana spell. It's cheapest. And then I do this, and now I want to get Psyche Split discounted to 0, so I can this, and I probably should have gone the Bless first into Psyche Split, but I'm just like, this is a hard deck to play, and I'm trying to discover, so I go Call the Grave first here, so I can get the discounts on the Call of the Grave. I take the Claw Machine, it's the high value, and then I should be going Bless first, but I take the Psyche Split first to kind of hold my hand, but it doesn't really matter. You can see we're against Druid, we're just 2 ahead, and he just doesn't have the time to react to this. So this was a kind of a ideally executed play, and it just kind of stops we were able to develop, we were able to just keep discounting, and you can see like the order is very important on things, but realistically, when you're playing this deck, you're going to make lots and lots and lots of mistakes. I'm top 100 with this legend deck. Somehow, I don't know how I'm top 100 legend with this deck. It's incredibly difficult, but it's definitely a mistake maker. So expect to make lots of mistakes. Like I said, if you're looking to climb, this is not your deck, but I think it's a lot of fun. This next game, we get a really good start in that we have double palm reading in hand. You can see here, I don't really, even though I have double palm reading, I don't have a duplication thing. So we really can't go off with Nizami until we can get 2 Nizamis. One is not efficient enough. And this game I want to highlight because it's really important to look at your power word fortitude. So I hit the Psyche split and I go palm reading 1. I'm planning on doing 2 palm readings, a palm reading next turn. This will put this down to 3 and I'll be all set to go off on 6. But it's important to look at this. So right now this card is 1 mana. It has 5 cards in hand, so it's 7, and or 6 spells in hand. So it would normally be 2, but it is 1. And you need to pay attention to these powered fortitude, because the thing that can completely screw over your Nizami play is incorrect fortitude order, where all your discounts are going to your powered fortitude. You want to play powered fortitudes earlier. And when they don't cost anything, because they mainly won't absorb the discount. So I go this and I just go hero power here. And now we have to look at, like, how much does this power fortitude cost here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it actually costs -1. This is important. So how would we be starting this turn here? We would be starting with, we would be going Nizami here. And then we would be going Psyche split, and then we would be going powered fortitude. Because right now it costs -1, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've done 2 palm readings, so we would want to do this second. So remember, right now it costs -2. And right now it costs -1, and if we draw a spell, it's going to cost -2. Comes the big turn. Okay. So, and now I top deck a power fortitude, and this one is actually 0, while the other one's -1, 2. So I almost make the mistake of going that one, but we want to do this one first. It's very important you do the undiscounted one first. Now this one was -1, so I could have gone Psyche split here. I go the power fortitude. This does have the advantage of the Psyche split, but it was actually the correct play to go Psyche split first here, because this one is still -1. Remember, it's got discounted 2 times. So it's 6, and then for 7 spells in hand, it'll be -1. So we'd rather go Psyche split here to get an additional discount. But it's okay. You're not going to play this deck perfectly. So we go Psyche split here. And then I go Thrive here. I could have gone Draconic here. I'm kind of looking for like an Insight here, and I hit the Insight, which is excellent because I want to hit Malagos. And I don't go Draconic here because I don't want the other dragon, and I go Insight first. Now, this could hit Nizami, but we want it to hit Malagos here. And remember, I want to do this first. I don't go Draconic here because now I unfortunately hit Nizami here. So I get this discounted to 0, and I get a card here, and then I play the 0-mana Nizami. Now we haven't hit another Insight here, and you can see here another spot. Now, I think I end up going Draconic because I'm going to waste the discount. Let's see. It looks like I go Hysteria here. Okay. Now, unfortunately, I'm not sure if this is optimal because it might be better just to go Draconic, even though Insight always draws Malagos, because we do lose a lot of discount. So this is going to discount Insight to -2, basically. So it's irrelevant. But I think ends up, let's see. So we will go Insight here. The Malagos will go down to 6. And then down to 3. So I think it would have been better to go Draconic here. It would have gotten more discounts. You could have picked a low thing, and also could have just paid often in the spot. You don't actually need to go the Malagos this turn, but you can often do, because they're not going to be able to remove this board when you have such big Nizamis, is you can just pick like a big Taunt Dragon, for example, and that's good enough. So I think I should have done that order. My order is incorrect here, and then we go Insight here. You can see this did waste a discount. Then we draw the Malagos here, and you can see here, like I think I'm supposed to go. Yeah, we go Focus Will first. This discounts Malagos to 3, and then we go Draconic, and we have to hope that 2 out of 3 the discounts go on the Malagos and they don't go on this, because if we there's a 50% chance we can't play this Malagos this turn. So I take 2 Malagos here, but 50% of the time this wouldn't have worked. So I think we were better off going the Draconic first, because this play didn't work a lot of the time. And you can see here, even because we don't hit any Desperate Prayers here, but you could see here, this is what I mean, where we didn't have to get the play perfectly because this board is so strong. So I think it would have been better if I gone the Draconic Studies and just tried to hit a taunt. That probably would have been good enough to win the game. So and then so that's the play. And then you could see, I want to show you a mistake I make later in the game, the next turn. So I make a big mistake. So the next turn, I still kind of feel like same mindset of let's do lots of stuff. I want to make this big sort of psyche split duplication here. I get the like get all this. I'm making my minion really big, but what the big blunder I make is I think, oh, I'm gonna go Malagos. Malagos is fun, but the problem is I actually draw through my whole deck here, and the problem is they just start. So I could have just drawn but I think, let's see, do I go for the Psyche Split? But I don't draw Psyche Split, and I want to duplicate this, so I just go Malagos here. But the problem is, now I'm in fatigue. And the problem is my opponent, what they're able to do is just freeze the board for 4 turns, and then they go for a big, then I'm at 6 fatigue, and they're able to kill me through my taunts. So I made the mistake here of by doing this Malagos play, they were able to kill me at fatigue. So I think just having one and not having the Psyche Split was more than good enough. So sometimes, but like I said, you have to make these decisions so quickly. So it's, easy often to find your mistakes afterwards. But interesting mistake of playing the second Malagos, because it's a fun play. Play Malagos number 2, right? But just less is more often. So this was definitely a big mistake. So this next game I want to show you, I'm pretty proud of, because it's kind of things go wrong, and I'm in a spot where I'm on. I go so against Sunni, and I hit the palm reading, and I actually have a thing where I decide to go on 3. My logic here is why, because often you go on 4. Is if I go Insight here and I hit Nizami, Nizami will be 1 mana. Then I can play Gift of the Luminance on it without using coin, and then I can start popping off and go off on turn 4. So this is very, very ideal, but unfortunately, we go Insight and get unlucky, and we hit the Malagos. So then I have to go the 2 mana draw here. I get the Nizami, but now I don't have enough mana to do the Nizami. So this slows us down an entire turn, and this is huge. Makes it, and whoever gets the first play usually wins. So the Druid gets the Kazaka Sundown, and this is very, very bad. But I decide to hang in there and try and find the outs. And we top deck the other Nizami. So what I ended up doing is a little weird. I do this, and I realize, because especially once I get the discounts to start off, I could full pop off here, but what I realized is I can still just wait a turn and go Nizami Psyche Split next turn. So you can see here, if I went like coin, a bunch of stuff, I don't get the discounts on all those cards. You see that? So, and it's going to be very, very difficult because I have very, very expensive things in hand. And it's unlikely, I could go this and my Nizami could also not, or Psyche Split could not get discounted at all. Then I have awkward things. So by waiting here, I enable myself to go Nizami and Psyche Split next turn, which is kind of, I think you think, oh, you have to pop off. But Druid just used Lightning Bloom. I figured they're unlikely to be able to clear this. Now, they sometimes can clear it, but I figure they need a decent top deck, like a Wand of Disintegration, which they probably wouldn't even want to use this turn, but they, anyways. So now they have this Lunar and the Moonlit, and unfortunately they get the Exerciser. So unfortunate here. But and this is the game I do a really weird play that I'm very happy with. So we do the Psyche Split and then wait, and we look, and this is a weird situation because they have this. Normally, I'd like to make a big taunt, duplicate it, but they have the hammer here. So what I do here is that I decide, and I was going to trade this, but I realized here, I should have actually buffed up one of the 3/7s here, but I realized I can buff this up and then trade on this. But the advantage is they're going to want to attack this, but I protect my 2 3/7s, and I'm all set up to go Malagos now. So if they get a bad top deck here, I'm in a good position to win the game potentially. So, because see, they've already silenced that minion, so it's not as important as protecting my other Nizamis. And they attack that, and they do have this scale here, but it isn't able to kill. It isn't able to kill my 3/7 here. So this was something of recognizing like the actual board of saying, all right, I wanted to. Normally, you taunt up one of the good minions, but this is a spot where I'm taunting up the minion to protect from the silence weapon. So now I go Malagos here, start popping off. I believe I go palm reading first. When you get these kind of plays, it's really good to go palm reading because it discounts all your cards so you don't have wasted discounts. Otherwise, some of these cards get discounted. Then remember, we go Powered Fortitude. And then you can see now, I believe we want to go Draconic here to start getting those big discounts. It's tough. It looks like I take Skeletal Dragon. But yeah, the other one is good. But it's good to take sometimes in these spots, especially against the treasures, cards that give you more value. So maybe if they're able to clear your board somehow, having a more value. If you give a bunch of powerful 0-mana dragons in hand, you can do some crazy stuff. So I'm just kind of going through. I kind of wish I'd be going. I guess I want to get the Skeletal Dragon down this turn to get this. So this gets my Skeletal Dragon always down to 0 mana here. Now this is a mistake going Draconic. This is okay. Do I recognize that? Okay, this is a big mistake. I'm not sure why I'm going this order. I should have played the Skeletal Dragon first here and then gone that. As you can see here, I just wasted discount a Skeletal Dragon discount. So that's an incorrect order. But I just kind of want to get these Skeletal Dragons down because they're able to generate me more value for next turn. But you can see with better order, I could have probably gotten this down for cheaper. Maybe not had the correct. So remember, see there, once I had it down, I should have used the other spell, played the 0-mana Skeletal Dragon, and then gone Draconic Studies, which would have gotten all the discounts on the other Skeletal Dragon. But as you can see here, this does give me more value. I'm putting the kind of positioning of this, but doesn't really matter. But also by having these 2 taunts here, protects me from the silence weapon, which allows my 10 damage minions to do damage next turn. And they're kind of a desperate spot. So what they do is they go Puzzle Box here. Playing these Skeletal Dragons actually turned it out to be absolutely huge because I get 2 10 drops and I get this 8/8 and this 12/12, which is really good. He does a real crafty play where he does this Solar Vampiric Fangs, so he's able to survive. I do this play, get some spells, don't really do anything, and then I think he bricks the top deck. Let's see. Yep, he does another transform and we win the game. So I really liked that one. In that that was one where we had the good hand and then things went wrong. We added a silence weapon and we figured out ways. We figured out the gift of the luminance delayed play there, and I think also the playing around the the weapon and able to protect your guys. So sometimes you're gonna have to take these board risks, especially in high tempo matchups. And this is, while not a traditionally high tempo matchup, it's a thing of they're getting their Kazakhstan treasures, and every turn you let them live, they get closer to killing you and drawing their powerful treasures. So you need to really go fast. So I think a real interesting game that I was very proud to win there. So this next game is a game when the first day I was kind of learning the deck, but I did a play that I felt was very strong, where I Psyche splitted one of my opponent's minions during the play. And it was a turn where sometimes if you're up against a tempo deck, if you just make one giant board, that's enough to win. You sometimes don't need the big Malagos, sort of this, especially something like a Face Hunter or a Beast Druid or an Aggro Druid where they just run out of stuff or they run out of tools. So I'm up against a Trog here. And I wait the same as before. I don't want to do palm reading this turn. I want to wait to get more stealth discounted. I'm not popping off until turn 5. I kind of just have to risk it and take the damage here. And they already use coin, which is good because they can't go arbor up here. So I take, I believe I take Raised Dead just because I want a 0 mana card and I don't want an expensive card here. And I play this and I draw the Nizami. And then they do their turn with they just attack face, I believe. And instead of just trying, the reality is I don't have I have to pop off here. That's the problem. But you can see here, I don't have any actual discoverables. So I do this double gift here. And then I go Gifted an Eru. And I'm hoping to get a really high value top deck, playing like a Draconic Studies, but I don't. I hit this Psyche Split, but the problem here you can see there's never, now I don't have enough mana I can't trade this shard here. So I have to work with what I have in my hand. I can't actually do this. So I realize what I have to do here is I have to Psyche Split their minion. They have this big 4/6. And I can use this to my advantage, especially because I have the silence. So this is a great combo. You could also do this against like a Paladin deck where they have maybe a giant, 8/8 Divine Shield taunt, and you're kind of in a desperate situation. So you can see here, I do this. I play the other, I get 3 discounts on this. I play the other one. Then I silence. This puts my other Psyche Split down to 0. And then I Psyche Split the other Trog. Now I have 2 6/10 taunts. That's 20 health. And this is a winning position. Now, maybe if they get a big arbor up here and they trade a bunch of stuff off, maybe they've got a chance here. But we can see just putting this 20 health on the board, even though we didn't do a Malagos play, this is enough to go win the game. So sometimes some games, especially in time, you have to be crafty and try and find that secret out. And this is, I think, Psyche Splitting one of your opponent's minions, especially a minion that's good for silence, where you can Psyche Split it and then silence it so they don't actually get the benefit of the Psyche Split. So a great thing to do on like from a Libram of Hope or something with Librams or something like that can be against a Paladin. So a great play to do it against that class as well. And this ends up winning me the game. So anyways, I hope you guys like that kind of content. That's kind of the play-by-play. If you like that content and you want to learn about Garrett Rogue, which is a little bit outdated deck, but still sees play, I have a Garrett Rogue playbook as well. I kind of like doing this on the decks that are very, very technically and tactically challenging. I'm still learning this deck. This deck is very hard, so maybe I'll make another playbook example where I just sort of give examples and give tactics that you can use from my games and sort of explain them play by play. That you can kind of implement into your own games. Because like I said, I think the big picture of this deck isn't that complicated. You do some Nizami stuff, you discount, you play Malagos, you make big minion, you go face. Like that's the general gist of it. That's not that hard. What you struggle with is the tactics, the order, and getting everything perfectly. So I think just having those examples is really helpful. And yeah, I might do another one of these on Miracle Priest. If you have another deck you'd like to see a play-by-play, especially a very technically difficult deck, I do the over-explain sometimes, but I think for like a deck like this, I don't even have the time to over-explain because the turns are so complex. So anyways, hope you guys like that. Got the deck list for this particular one in the comments. Enjoy.